Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I want to do something a little bit different today on my channel. It's going to mainly be about, what the main railroads that used to operate in the United States are no longer active anymore as they were bought out by other railroads. So, today's railroad is going to be about Conrail. I believe that this was probably my favorite railroads because, I love how the color, they're blue on their Conrail, on their units. It's just incredible. CSX has good colors and all. Those are very flashy even more, but yeah. Mainly their colors were, back in the day, they were both blue and white as their logo, so that's pretty cool. So right now, we're going to be going on the Wikipedia here on my phone. I'm going to basically explain what the facts about it. It's something you guys probably did not know about Conrail. I'm pretty sure that most of you probably looked this up on the Wikipedia, but anyways. So since I'm doing this by word, not in my own words, I want to give full credit to the Wikipedia as I'm using this for no commercial use, no copyright infringement intended. I'm using this for the purpose of this video and all that. So, I'm sorry for looking away from the camera. I cannot really focus today, so I gotta make sure I get good eye contact so you know that I'm talking to you. So, right now, this is actually, it will focus. I gotta make this video quick as possible due to time. It takes like a while just to upload this. Right now, that's actually their trackage rights right there. I believe what year this was. Okay, yeah. Right there. That's Conrail's logo right there. That's a trackage right. It usually, mostly it went through Horseshoe Curve. It mostly went around, actually somewhere in, there's some parts are in New York. There's some spots that are in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and all those states. And mostly it went right through Pennsylvania, where Horseshoe Curve is. And believe it or not, I think back in the day, in 1998, you probably used to see all Conrail units go through Horseshoe Curve. That's where their main track is. That had never been abandoned. That's the original part of Conrail. So that's all original. There actually used to be for those of you that were wondering, Horseshoe Curve used to have 4 tracks, but they took the third track out, the third track out because it was not used, it was no longer needed. So they just only ran 3 trains at a time through there. So, I don't know why they done that, don't ask me why, but I'm guessing it's probably for some kind of safety reasons or whatnot. Just make sure that there's not any track or any train traffic that's going to affect the train travel and all that. So I went through Indiana, Ohio, and all those other stuff. It did not go through Virginia. I was very surprised I didn't go through Virginia at all. It didn't go through Virginia Beach either, so I guess it's completely blanked out. But mainly it was more of a, I guess more of the eastern side rail line. But that was, if you think about it, that picture right there, man, that's supposed to be like a small railroad or something. So going on with the information here, the dates of operation was from 1976 to 1999, and that was a very, very short time. They didn't really last. I could have expected them to be lasting more longer, but 1976, they weren't in business as long, which I don't know what the heck that was. But so they went to Northeast U.S. Here we go. It says go through Northeast U.S., the Midwest U.S., and Ontario and Quebec. So I guess it went through Ontario also. And also went to Michigan as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, it says the predecessor is PCEL. I'm not going to read all these. But the main focus is the successor is CSXT. It's Norfolk Southern. Conrail shared assist operations currently entity. And the track gauge is 4 feet, 8, 1.2, and 1,435 millimeters. Or, I believe, 4 feet, 8.5, and 1,435 millimeters. So that's basically standard gauge. That's what that's telling it. So, and their headquarters, where they used to be, they now been took over. But the headquarters were in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is always good. And I didn't know that. So we're gonna go on here. The rail line is also called the Consolidated Rail Corporation. I think I said that right. Commonly known as Conrail, reporting Mark CR, was a primary Class 1 railroad in the Northeast U.S. Between 1976 and 1999, Conrail is one of the Consolidated and Rail for the name of the company. The U.S. federal government created Conrail to take over the potentially profitable lines of multiple bankrupt carriers, including Penn Central Transportation Company and Erie Lackawanna Railway, with the benefit of industrial-wide regulatory requirements being reduced via the 4R Act and the Staggers Act. Conrail began to turn a profit in the 1980s and was turned over to private investigators in 1987. The two remaining Class 1 railroads in the East, CSX Transportation and Norfolk Southern Railway, which is NS in other words, agreed in 1997 to split the system approximately equally, returning the rail freight competition in the Northeast by essentially undoing the 1968 merger of the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York Central Railroad that created Penn Central. Following Surface Transportation Board approval by CSX, and Norfolk Southern took control in August 1998, and on June 1st, 1999, began operating their portions of Conrail. So, according to this, June 1st, 1999 was, I believe, the exact date and when they went out of business, which I guess I know now. That's pretty cool because I never knew what date they were actually abandoned, or what date they finally agreed to take over, allowed them to take over, or Norfolk Southern CSX to take over. So that's really cool. Alright, so reading off here in this second paragraph. The old company remains in jointly owning subsidiary, with CSX Norfolk Southern owning respectively 42% and 58% of its stock, corresponding to how much of Conrail assets they acquired. Each parent, however, has an equal voting interest. The primary assets were retained by Conrail in ownership of the three sharing assist areas in New York, Jersey, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Both CSX and Norfolk Southern have the right to serve all shippers in these areas, paying Conrail for the cost of maintaining and improving trackage. So, paying Conrail for the cost of maintaining improving trackage. Now, Conrail, I think back then, railroads were starting to lose money drastically. So this basically tells you that Conrail, probably one of the reasons why why Norfolk Southern and CSX took over was because of maintaining improved trackage. In other words, their track wasn't the best shape and all that, so they were losing business and all that. I think there was probably several in the Conrail accidents back then because of that. It's just not pretty. You don't want any engineers getting hurt at all. You want to make sure everybody's safe and all that. Make sure the train crew is safe and all that, just for safety reasons. So, let me see. Okay, they also made use of Conrail to perform switching and terminal services within these areas, but not as a common carrier since contracts are signed between shippers, CSX, or Norfolk Southern. Excuse me. Conrail also retained various support facilities, including maintenance away and training, as well as 51% share at Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad. I'm not really familiar with the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad is. So the context, which is basically a paragraph from 1976 to 1973 to 1976. So I'm going to read this one last paragraph. I'm a little bit on time. I want to make sure, as I begin in the video, as I said in the beginning of the video, it takes forever. The app I'm using right now, what I'm going to be using once I upload this video, is YouTube Upload. I mean, it is fast. It's faster than the normal one. Back when I did my YouTube channel, I used to use YouTube Capture, but something went wrong. I think one of the updates caused the videos to be very choppy. Unfortunately, the app I'm using right now, which is YouTube Uploader, stops that. So that's really, really good and all that. So we'll no longer be using that. But even with that, it's just going to take a long time. So I got to be quick on this. So, anyways, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so in the year leading to 1973, the freight railroad system in the U.S. was collapsing, although the government funded Amtrak took over intercity passenger service in 1971. Railroad companies continue to lose money due to inextensive government regulations, expensive and excessive labor costs, competition for other transportation modes, declining industrial business, and other factors. So I guess they were really in trouble in that paragraph, but I did not know that. Actually, I really learned a lot about this railroad. I mean, I finally know. First of all, I knew about when date was, which was, I believe, June 1st, 1999. So that's really cool. See, I like using Wikipedia. I learn a lot from it, believe it or not. I've been using it for, school projects in school. I mean, it's really, really helpful. So I learned a lot about this, and I like using this website, and I recommend anybody using it, really. Mostly rail fans use it for their research and all that, then they put them in their own words. But anyways, now, a little bit on the story right now. Conrail, they call it the nickname for the Blue Devil. I don't know who created that name in the first place, but yeah, that's actually, it's more appropriate. It's actually probably the most appropriate name out there. The Blue Devil. Probably because it has this most brightest blue and all that. Now, unfortunately, I really haven't got to see these guys operate. Conrail went out of business the year after I was born. I believe I was 2 at the time, and I was way too young to even remember any of this. But I believe that, I imagine so that my dad and my parents and my relatives probably seen this already. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the majority of my family probably saw it. So, that's actually pretty much it. So, I'll be, now next week I'll be uploading, the Penn State Railroad or the New York Central Railroad and all that. I'll be taking a break from this because these videos take a while to, upload. I don't really normally edit my videos unless I really need to if it's necessary, but most likely I'm not. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And have a wonderful day, and stay safe with the tracks, everybody. Bye. See ya.